Okay. Am I audible? Am I clear? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. And good afternoon for joining on a Friday afternoon again. And today's topic is time management, right? So time management is one of the most essential skills that is needed at any time, in any industry, in any profession, in any sports, in any field of activity, right? So, and most of the time, we feel that we are managing our time, right? People assume that I'm good at my time management. Sometimes some people are humble enough to agree that they may not be as good in time management, right? So today, what we're going to do is we'll spend some time understanding time management in terms of some essentials that we should have in our day-to-day activities, which will help us in time management. And let's also try to understand, in order to manage time, what else we need to manage, right? Sometimes people think that I cannot manage my time, but time cannot be managed unless you manage something else, right? So with that said, let's move on to the presentation, and let's try to keep this as interactive as possible, so that we can share more ideas, more situations, etc. Okay, so I'm going to, yes, yeah. Okay, so you can see the presentation.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great, thank you. Yeah, so I'm just going to read this brief paragraph here, and then we'll get into the presentation. So about time management. Time is not just money, time is life, right? There is a big proverb that time is money. Yeah, but just not money, it's life. The most expensive item to buy is time lost. The most expensive thing to expend is the time left. In all walks of life, if one does not manage his time, then one is sure to miss the boat. Efficiency and effectiveness without punctuality and timeliness are meaningless, right? I'll repeat this again. Efficiency and effectiveness without punctuality and timeliness are meaningless. Meaning, no matter how much good work you do at a customer place, and how much good solutions you provide, if you don't respect a customer's time or your own internal team members' time, then such people are meaningless to the organization. The seminar aims to explain the importance of time management, and it equips it with tools and techniques of how do you do more in less time, right? How can we utilize time to the maximum, and we can do many things more than what we're doing. So let's go forward. So today's discussion, obviously, what is time management, right? We're going to discuss what is time management and essentials for time management. Do you need time management? No, there is going to be a set of questions that I'm going to ask all of you, and I would want you to self-assess during this session itself. If you really are managing your time, you yourself will know, right? How to manage time, get smart for time management, and some Q&A at the end, right? So our time starts now. Okay, so Albert Einstein had written this quote like close to 100 years back now, right? I mean, I don't know when he was there. So he says, I fear the day the technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will be a generation of idiots. That was the word of Albert Einstein. So can anyone relate to whether Albert Einstein predicted it correctly or wrongly?
It is completely correct, actually.
He absolutely predicted correctly, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You can take the example of social media.
Yeah. May I request some of you to enable your screens also? So I feel that I'm not talking to triangles. Yeah. If you're in a difficult situation, definitely not, but it helps actually to the presenter when I can see your faces, who I'm talking to. Is it okay? Can you enable? You can enable your videos, please. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prasad. Thank you, Asta. Thank you, Shiva. My God, I don't know where everyone else is. It's such a difficult place or what? Enable your screens. Oh, why? Okay, this is not a context for looks and style, so you can still enable. Okay, so it gives me a good feeling. Yeah, I can see Prasanna now. Yeah, I can see Virendra. Great. So we're close to 50 plus in the call. But now it feels that I'm speaking to people who are there listening to me. It's not like a recording that you're hearing, right? Yeah. So Albert Einstein, was he right or no? Right? We can see. And we are also part of the idiocracy culture today, where people sit and start browsing in front of each other. Right? I'll tell you a joke. In my college days, me and my friends used to go to Gandipet. I don't know if you know Hyderabad. There is a place called Gandipet. It's like a secluded place, where now it's not anymore secluded. It's pretty crowded now. Many buildings, everything has come close by now. Population has increased so much on the other side of the city. But there were days, I'm talking about 94, 95, 96, when we used to go to Gandipet, hardly anybody used to be there, right? So no wonder in such places you see a lot of couples, right? You see a lot of college boys and girls just going there. Don't ask me why, but you see a lot of them, right? And so it so happened that me and my family we had bought a plot close by to Gandipet some time back. So few years back, me and my father, we just drove to see if the plot is still there. Has anybody occupied it, or what should we do about it? Just to check, random check. We went there, and I could see boys and girls, still coming to Gandipet. Okay, so the tradition continues, but the only difference is they're sitting there and browsing on their phones. I felt how useless is it coming to Gandipet? They can as well sit somewhere in Tangban, or they can as well sit somewhere in their houses itself, right? And what's the point of you going with your boyfriend or girlfriend to a place as beautiful as Gandipet, and you're holding your phone and you're pressing it like this, right? That's exactly what Albert Einstein is saying. A technology created idiots, right? So this apparently, this is a very essential thing to discuss, because this is affecting our time. This is killing our time. And time is some background contribution. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you're not speaking, you can keep it on mute. Thank you. Yeah. So as I was saying that, this is a very essential thing to speak about, because maximum time today is taken by that gadget in our hands, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, it just takes it away. So it's very important we address it and we also acknowledge it. I'm not going to give a solution today how to de-gadgetize yourself, or how do you stop using mobile phone as much. That's not the agenda of today's topic. I wish there was a seminar for that. But I want to tell you that that is really killing your time. One of the factors, right? And Albert Einstein predicted it. And are we wasting time? Yes, through YouTube. Of course, YouTube kills our time. You go to browse for something, you will end up seeing something else, and you come out with a different impression, right? Either frustrated or agonized, or I don't know, or in a fantasy world, you're thinking something, you saw something. So, point is, social media is completely bombarded on us, and we are not being allowed to think. We're not being allowed to give our opinion, by our own thought process. We are just forced opinions on, including the news also is completely fabricated these days. What you're watching is what they want you to know, right? What you're watching is not the truth. It's about what they want you to know. What NDTV shows is what they want you to know. What Republic shows is what they want you to know, right? So it's completely biased and completely bombarded. And most importantly, it enters into our private time, where necessarily my plan is not to watch it. I want to use my time for something else, but I'll end up watching it, right? So yes, we are wasting time, no doubt about it, right? So let's go forward about a little more thought process on time management, right? So general thoughts about time. What is time? Before I explain, can anyone describe what is time? Time itself. What is it? Can you feel it? Can you experience it? How do you have to define time if you have to define time?
The moment what we are enjoying.
Okay. The moment that you're enjoying, yes, or suffering. Either this.
Depends on.
Yeah. Okay. So what is this? Is this something that can be touched? Is it something that can be felt?
Only
Something
we can enjoy, which we cannot touch, which we can feel it.
we can
Yes,
feel.
we can feel it. Yeah.
Okay. Did we create it? Did we create
No, not impossible.
it? So, and what does it do? What does time do? Like, for example, sunlight, it creates light.
It creates changes, sir.
Hmm?
It creates some changes, sir. By the time passes, there something will change according to the time.
Yeah, but changes we do, right? Time doesn't do. We do changes, right? We sit down and we start writing, or we start referring, or something like that. We
Yeah,
do.
with the reference of time, we do changes.
Hmm?
With the reference of time, we do basically changes.
Yeah. See, time is an energy. In simple words, time is an energy which, with every passing moment, it deteriorates things, right? Somebody who's young becomes old. Somebody who's adolescent becomes young. Somebody who's old dies, right? With every passing moment, we are going towards that end, which is already determined. This is philosophical definition of time. This is not a depressive religious definition. It's a philosophical definition, very clearly, that we all have an end date. Whether you see it on your, I don't know if you can see your barcode on your hands or not, but it's already written here, we say, right? In tradition, they say, you have an end date there, right? And with every passing moment, you're one day closer to that end moment. One day. For example, what is today's date? 3rd of September. So end of 3rd of September, you're one day closer to death. As simple as that, right? And what is taking you there? Time. Time is taking you there. Now, why am I speaking this is because you should understand how important is time. How important is time? If somebody is wasting time, meaning he's going towards the end point without preparing for it, or he doesn't know what to do about it, right? So, say for example, you're on a vacation. Say you're on a vacation in some nice beach resort for 1 week, and you have just 2 more days left. How preciously you will treat those 2 days. Hmm? How importantly you will want to do whatever you like to do again, because to come there to the resort means a lot of money and a lot of time again, and a lot of leaves again, a lot of planning again. Now that you're there, the last 2 days you really want to enjoy, isn't it? So when you are giving so much importance to a 7-day vacation, what about our life itself? Why don't we think like that? That our life itself is a vacation, and here is the end point, and we're going down all the way till here, and somebody comes and says, "ये मेरे को time pass नहीं हो रहा है." You should slap such people saying, "What nonsense are you speaking? Where is the question of passing time? Time pass नहीं हो रहा है." Time is such a precious thing; it cannot be passed. It should be lived. It should be treasured. It should be measured and treasured, right? And it should be purposeful. It should be meaningful. It should be giving that satisfaction. And most importantly, it should be goal driven. It should be purposeful, as I said. It should be goal driven. A person who doesn't have a goal is leading a goalless life, right? Like, for example, Martin Luther King Jr., he made a very nice statement. He said, if you don't have something to die for, you have nothing to live for, right? Did you get what I told, what Martin Luther King said? If you don't have anything to die for, meaning if you're not passionate to do something in life, then you have nothing to live for. You're just living like like an animal, just eating, mating, sleeping, defending. That's it, right? You don't have anything meaningful. So we have to understand The time management is not generally a topic that I would say that, manage your time in the office or manage your time at home. It's about managing your life, right? And life should be meaningful, purposeful. So you really want to do something for this world, or really want to do something for yourself, right? I have a goal on myself and I want to achieve that goal. And that makes time, that gives all the meaning to time. There are two kinds of people you see outside. Some people who don't have time for you, some people who have all the time for you, right? You go and ask them, hey, do you have time? Yeah, I'm available. Does it mean that they're managing time better? Does it mean a person who is available for you all the time, does it mean he's managing his time very nicely? No, that's exactly opposite. Because a fellow who doesn't have anything to do, obviously he's available all the time. He doesn't have any plan in his mind, right? But uh, it's important that we create buckets in our day, which we want to fill with what we want to fill with, not what others want to fill it, right? So now let's get back to what is time, right? As I told, I gave a brief to you. There are several phases, right? We use time pass, time is bad, time is fast, time kills, relaxing time, stressful time. We add a lot of prefixes and suffixes with time, and we give an impression to it, right? I mean, time suddenly becomes good time, and suddenly it becomes bad time also. But time is time. Actually, time is not changing. It's your perception or your usage of it that it is changing, right? Yeah. Time is time. Mismanagement of time makes it pass, bad, fast, kill, relaxing, or stressful. How many agree with this? Or did you understand what we are speaking here? There's nothing called bad time or good time. If you mismanage your time,
Yes,
then
agree.
obviously, right? If you mismanage your time, it becomes bad for you. So this is a very important thing that we all should learn, that we are ultimately responsible. Don't blame time. Crisis management. Now, it's a strong statement, but it's true. It's a cover up for management of time, right? When people don't manage their time properly, they're all the time doing crisis management. I see a lot of sometimes, some leads, some managers, oh, I'm in crisis, I'm like, there's so much to do, so much, oh, we are working day and night, we're working around the clock, we are doing this, we are doing that. Yeah, of course, okay, there can be a day in a month which can be like that. Right? We understand, yeah. One day in 30 days is like that. But if the guy is working 20 days like that, or people in the team are working 20 days like that, there's seriously something wrong, right? You messed up your time management. You did not use your time properly, and now you're paying the cost of it, right? By trying to do things in the last minute, trying to somehow, um, you know, trying to somehow put things into place, and then you're so busy to express. I'm not ridiculing people who work hard. I'm just telling that sometimes we have to assess ourselves. How much are we working hard without proper planning, right? So we will discuss about this more as we go forward in the topic time management, right? And some more thoughts on the time greatest destruction, right? So time management can save lives, mismanagement can destruct many millions of lives. Yeah, for example, uh, the COVID vaccine rollout was a little bit delayed by the government. We all know that, right? They wanted to, the vaccine was ready, but they felt, what, yeah, let's do it. First phase got over. They were not predicting wave two so fast coming up. But it surprised, right? Suddenly the wave two came in, woof, it completely surprised the whole country. In just a matter of 1 week, the numbers went up from 10,000 to 4 lakhs. We all witnessed that, right? Did we? Yeah, suddenly 4 lakhs per day infections. And what went wrong there? And is it the COVID that did wrong, or is it we who did wrong? The government or the authorities or bureaucrats, or you can blame not a particular political party. I'm just saying in general, the whole machinery failed because they did not utilize the available time. Right? The time was there, vaccine was there, but they did not plan it that well. They did not uh, think the quantum with which the spread is going to happen. And what did it have? What did it result into? Not many, but some people definitely lost their lives. No, not as much as media projected. Some people, as I said, it's all politically motivated. They want to show the statements that they want to show or they want us to see. But it was certainly, I personally have seen in hospitals people begging for a bed because there is no oxygen. They're struggling with oxygen. I've seen that. So it's true that many people died. Yeah. Because of mismanagement of time, that they did not use the time that was available for making the right decisions and implementing it. My dear friends, don't think that I'm talking about a government or it doesn't apply to us, including us. If we don't make the right decisions at right time in our life, it's going to affect us big time. Really, it's going to affect us big time. You need um, you need a very, very smart decision making, matured mind to manage your life. Otherwise, the same time which seems so nice is going to be very, very difficult for you to manage. It's not going to be easy, right? So let me give one example. One thought I'll give you. Say, for example, you're working in a company and you have a good relationship with your colleagues, with your superior, with your juniors, with your customers, with your area of work, you're properly settled. People also understand. People take some time to understand each other, right? So they've taken some time to understand you, and you're very well stationed and settled in that place. Now you're earning decent. You're earning decent. It's not like it's the best salary on the planet or the best salary for your role in the market. But what you're earning is decent enough, right? But then there is an element of greed that comes in, and you want to switch your job because your neighbor is getting, or your colleague is getting, or your somebody is getting 20-30% more than you, or say 50% more than you. Okay, good. Okay, I should get, I think I deserve more. Suddenly your feeling of deserving has increased all of a sudden. It was not existing till now. Just when you got to know that somebody else is getting more, oh, I think I deserve more. So overnight popped up deserve. So that, okay. So is there anything wrong in going and asking for higher salaries or moving out? No, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. But sometimes you have to see how it affects you over a period of time, right? So you switch your job. And when you switch your job, what happens? You go to a new environment. The 10-12 years that you invested, or a decade that you invested in maintaining relationships on the floor, where you are ready to help others and they are ready to help you, the whole support system is crumbled. Now you're in front of completely new audience, all by yourself, prove yourself, another 3-4 years of struggle. So what happens is, with experience, I'm telling you that when you are in your 45 plus or 50s, right? If you're not with an organization or in an organization where people understand who you are as a person, they respect you who you are as a person, and they know your contributions, and they know your intentions, they know your character, all that is known. It gives a lot. It gives a lot of strength to continue when you're getting older and older. You'll not realize that, but if you're going the rat race of jumping for 10% increment company after company, then you go to a point where nobody knows you, and even at the age of 50-55, you have to prove yourself from the scratch, and you have to tell people how you handle what, right? People don't trust you. Somebody doesn't like you. But if you're going on with the organization for a longer time, of course, working hard and even growing in that organization, then your time becomes more easy to handle at the age of 50, at the age of 45. Otherwise, if you're just hopping around, then your time becomes very tough. Now, why am I giving the example? Just to tell you how time changes, how the element of time becomes comfortable and easy and doable, when depending on decisions in life, right? So you hopped around to get more, but you land up at a place where you're completely stressed out and your time becomes very, very tough. You don't have time for even your health. And ultimately, whatever you earn, you'll end up paying in an Apollo hospital or a Sunshine hospital. Instead, you have utilized your time nicely, you have been efficient in the same place, maintained relationships, grown with the organization, you are a very well settled employee, contributing to the organization, and you're satisfied with what you get. You're not competing with rats. You're like, okay, I'm happy. I know what I should get, right? And you wait for the growth, and you actually grow organically, and then you land up at a time when people understand, what your contributions are, and the time becomes very relaxing, and the time becomes very friendly, right? For example, some calamity happened in your life. You suddenly had some health issue. 20 days you're off. Will the new company understand your situation? No. But if you're in the old company, between colleagues, between people whom you work for at least a decade, they will understand. Say, hey, I know, Lakshman, you can go on a leave. That's fine. We are there. We'll take care. You've done so much for us. I know the company has been seeing you doing so much. Don't worry about this. This is a phase you're going through. We are there with you. See how the time is, right? The same time, which becomes very comfortable for you, which also becomes very difficult to handle. Just 1 minute. I have a lot of background noise. I'll just shut off the window. 1 second. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you able to understand what I'm discussing and explaining to you so far? Any questions?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yeah. Don't think that this call is for decreasing attrition or decreasing any people from leaving or anything like that. But I'm trying to tell you how we can create our life just with our decisions, which we can't see now, but just in a matter of time, you'll see how your decisions have affected your lifestyle, right? So it's always good to make decisions looking at long-term vision rather than short-term vision. A lot of the times we make decisions based on short-term. We think that we'll figure it out, but actually long-term decisions will give you more quality in time, right? So now let's go forward with the presentation. So I was explaining what is time. So greatest destruction, time management can save lives, mismanagement can destruct lives. We discussed about it with example. Now, there is also explanation of what is time in Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says, Kalosmi Lokakshekrit. Time I am the destroyer of the worlds, he says. So time slowly kills everything, everything deteriorates. Something is born, there are 6 stages actually. Everything takes birth, everything grows, everything settles, everything dwindles, everything is diminishing, and then everything is gone, right? These stages are explained in Bhagavad Gita and many other scriptures of the world, including Quran and Bible, and so the best of the scriptures, they speak about time. And there is a reason for speaking about time, because uh, everybody reminds of one thing, that we should utilize the time and achieve what we are supposed to achieve in the time, right? Including spiritual path, it talks about importance of using time. Okay, so did we all understand? I think I'm sure we all understood what is time, right? And how we understand time. Let's go forward. What is time management, right? So before even we talk about time management, let me ask, uh, what all can we really manage in life? We want to manage a lot of things, right? What all can we really manage, right? We want to manage some things, but can you manage love? Emotion like love, can you manage it? Meaning, I want love to increase, I want love to decrease, I want love to expand, I want love to roll out. Can you do all that? Has anyone tried doing it? Yeah.
No, sir, we can't.
You can't manage can't manage love. Love is an emotion, and love is something that we all are craving for. Whether you're a human, whether you're animal, whether you're a bird, or whether you are an American or Indian, we all have only two things to do. Scriptures explain there are only two things. Actually, human being doesn't need iPhone or a Android. The human being doesn't need, a big job and a big paycheck. Even if 10 lakh rupees come into your account every month, still in a longer run, you'll realize that that's not actually what you need. What you need is you should love somebody and you should be loved by somebody. That's all. Everything else is, a cloud around it, saying that, okay, I have these things, I have this car, I have this office, I have this designation, I'm a CA, you're MBA, I'm BCom, you're engineer, you're a doctor. All this is nonsense. It's an illusion. It's a thing that we attach ourselves to, but that's not what we actually need. What we need is people who understand us, people who love us, and we should be able to love them. When these two things happen, when we love people, and people meaning somebody, when we love somebody and that somebody loves us in reciprocation, your life is peaceful and happy, right? Just imagine if your house atmosphere is not good, expectations are too high, your children are not cooperating, your wife or husband is not understanding, your parents' expectations are different, you're being judged at every corner in every way. You think you can enjoy life? No, right? So the most important thing that we should invest on is what? Loving relationships. That is our greatest investment, right? So we should not forget that. So something like love, we cannot manage. Really, we cannot manage, right? There's something like thoughts. Can we manage our thoughts? Sometimes it's difficult. Thoughts all depend upon the kind of environment that we are choosing to be in, right? If you're choosing to be in between people who are very passionate, you'll also become passionate, right? If you go around and live between people who are very peaceful, your thoughts also will become peaceful. So association is what determines your thoughts. You can't manage it. You just have to choose the right association. Habits, right? Habits again, can you manage your habit? Do you really think you can manage your habits? No. It's again depending on the association that you are with. Relationships. I don't know how many of you have tried to manage relationships, but you really can't manage relationships. You can only serve in relationship and expect some love coming in reciprocation. That's all it is, right? You serve and then you wait for a reciprocation. That's all it is. You can't really manage relationships. Can you manage your mind? I can tell you right now, among the 50 plus people who are in this call, their minds are in 10 different places, right? You're struggling to put your mind only to listen what I'm saying, but your mind is going in different directions. What should I do on Saturday? I think today I'll go home or I already am at home. I'll shut off at 6 o'clock. Let me plan this, let me plan that. So mind is everywhere. Mind is like a monkey. Mind is like a monkey. It can't be managed. Monkey can't be managed, right? Can we really manage time? No, we can't really manage time, right? So the point that I wanted to make is the topic of this seminar itself is not right. Time management is not possible. Time management in itself is not possible. Because just like love, thoughts, habits, relationship, mind, even time is something that cannot be managed. But there is something else that has to be managed in order to manage time. In order to manage time, there's something else that has to be managed. Now, I want all of you to please think for a minute and tell me what needs to be managed in life so your time can be managed.
Your daily tasks.
Okay. What else needs to be managed for time to be managed? Are you all with me?
Situations.
Yes, situations. If you manage your situations, your time is automatically managed. Yeah, good one. Yeah.
Laziness.
Laziness. Yeah. Can some of you enable your screens again? I'm again seeing rectangle boxes only. Come on, guys. Let's be. It's a Friday evening. It's okay. Whatever you're doing, I'm not taking a screenshot here. Yeah. Speak up. What else needs to be managed to manage your time? Think. You're
Your
thinking.
role to basically achieve your goal. You need to manage that.
Manage your role.
Road to achieve your goal, actually. The road What do you need to
The
achieve?
goal, yes, yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. Most important thing, your priorities, your goal, right? If you manage your goal and priorities, your time is well managed. If you don't manage your goal and priorities, then your time is absolutely mismanaged, right? You can't keep cribbing saying that, oh, there are so many things to do. Obviously, so many things are there to do for everyone. But the people who are very goal centric, they give priority to the tasks which are relevant to their goal, and they lead a peaceful life. See, Edison, how many inventions he did? 1,000 inventions, maybe? Chota mota pura mila ke. Hmm? How many hours did he have in a day? 24. Right? How many hours we have in a day? 24. Can we invent one thing every day? No. If I ask, I don't have time. That is the simplest answer I receive, right? Most of the time, you say, mere pa time nahi. How come Edison could do what he could do? How come great leaders could do what they could do, right? How come so many leaders who also have a family, who also have friends, who also have responsibilities, who also have a unnecessary neighbor who keeps troubling, who also have a useless dog barking outside, who also have all the problems in life, still manage to achieve more. Still, I don't know how many of you have seen people in life who do more than what others can do. You don't have to find leaders. Actually, in your own community, you'll see. For example, if a festival comes up, something like Ganesh Chaturthi is coming, right? Ganesh Chaturthi is coming. Now, in your community, you will see some people will come out and start organizing the pandal, organizing the activities, calling people, encouraging them, planning for prasadam, food, sacred food to be kept, and coordinating the festival. Now, these all people are also working in Infosys, Wipro, Lorhan, or any of the other companies. They're also working. How come they're finding that extra time? How come they're finding that extra time, right? Or sometimes you see some people, like I really like some when I see a family with children going out on a walk, right? Husband and wife and kids. I see some families actually. I live in a big gated community here. It's called My Home Avatar. I don't know if you know this place. I call it a municipality because 3,000 houses in a single complex. 3,000 into 3 is 9,000, and 9,000 plus 1,000, 10,000 makes it a municipality. When so it's a big gated community. So when I live here, I see in the evenings, sometimes I really see regularly husband, wife, and children, they have an evening walk. I sometimes feel, wow, this is so nice. How are they able to pull this off? Right? Because they value that time. They value that time. Wives make sure that she's finished with all the daily chores, so she's available. Husband also make sure that his daily chores are finished, so he is available. Children will make sure that all their homeworks and tuitions and whatever is done because they're available. And together they make a decision that let's go out for a walk. Even if it's a 15 minutes walk, we'll do it together as a family. Right? So when your goals are clear, when your priorities are clear, then your time is also clear. Right? But if we don't manage our goals, or rather we have goals, but we still want to waste our time, right? They start going in and browsing and browsing and browsing for useless things. Obviously, I'll not have time for the evening walk, right? So let's go back now. So we talked about what is time, right? Now let's talk about what is time management, right? In a student way, or in a, if you really look at it, you go to bed, then you fall asleep, then you sleep, then you wake up, then you actually wake up, then you get ready, then you go to school or college, or office, then you go to your class or meeting, so to say, meeting, lunch, meeting, then you go home, then you go to, then you, no, this is a nonsense thing, right? You just browse internet for 2 hours, as if without you the whole world is sinking. So you browse that thing, and then you go for a dinner, then work, and then internet, and then go to bed. By the time you sleep, it's 12. So what did you do? Now, this is what you have been doing in life. Most of us are doing in life, right? And we say that time management is there. Now, time management cannot be active. It combines what? It combines a lot of things. in order to manage time, you have to manage what you do, how you live, what you like, how you do what you do, right? When you do, what drives you, what suits you, and who works with you. Everything you have to manage. If you don't manage all this, you cannot manage time. Did you understand what I'm trying to tell here? Yeah. Like you choose to work with a very lazy fellow. He will not only ruin his life, he'll pakka ruin your life also. Right? Or you're working with a freak who just likes to do 10 things at a time. Your life will get freaked. You'll freak out in your life. You know, what nonsense is going on, right? So it's very important who you're working with and how you're working, what you do, what suits you, what drives you. Everything together manages time. If you don't manage all these things, you can't manage time, right? So I want to be very, very clear on that. Yeah, time management. As a college student, you gain more independence, but there is less structure for you to follow. You don't have your parents and teachers telling you what you need to do. Using your unstructured time wisely will be the key of your academic success or your professional success also, right? See, when all of us were young, our parents used to tell us, what are you doing? You should be sleeping now, you should be eating now, you should be studying now, like that. Our parents used to tell, right? Now what is happening? Each one of us is getting some salary in our pockets. Now we are independent, right? And now we have all the time. Nobody can tell us what to do. And now we get some spare time and we waste that time. And we waste the time, the spare time, and then we crave, I don't have time, right? Nobody is there to tell us. So that is why the key is, if we are able to utilize that unstructured time. See, structured time is anywhere there. You have a meeting, your customer has scheduled a meeting, your boss has scheduled a meeting. You have to be in that meeting, you will be productive. Most of the time you'll be productive. But what about the unstructured time? Unstructured time really makes a big difference. That is where your time management skills are known, right? How good you are managing your time is about how good you are managing your unstructured time. Did you all follow what I'm trying to tell here? Unstructured time? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Do we have unstructured time in our daily schedule? Yes, it is there.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Don't tell me it's not there. There is a
Yeah.
lot of unstructured
We
time.
have.
What are you
Yes,
doing
sir.
with that unstructured time is what matters. You have to be honest to yourself. This session is going to help you, provided you want to help yourself, right? Otherwise, it will be, kab khatam hoga. No, you have to understand how this can help you in a longer run. How this can help you in longer run. You have to identify the unstructured times, right? So let's go forward. Yeah. Essentials for time management, right? Planning, doing, and interaction. Three things. Every time we do things, there are three main activities, right? Planning, actually executing, and interaction. All our time goes in these three activities, only in these three activities. There is no fourth activity. Planning, doing, and interaction. Planning means getting organized, right? Getting organized. Doing means carrying it out. Whatever you organized, you're carrying it out, right? Now, interaction, meaning interaction includes engaging others to accomplish what is planned, right? Now, you plan something, you're doing it, and also you want to engage others to come and contribute in what you have planned. Right? These are the three main activities. And your time, how you manage your time in these three activities determines your life. Determines your life. How efficient you are or how good you are. Everything is determined by these three things, right? A, B, C. Let's put A for planning, B for you doing it, carrying it out, and C for interaction. Now let us see, know your style. What are you? Let us try to self-assess. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you, if it is A, B, C, if you're good at planning, good at doing, good at interaction, what are you? You're the most efficient, right? Best time manager, right? You can just say best time manager. Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please pay attention. you can actually assess yourself where you fall. You're planning well, you're doing well, you're interacting with everybody well, you're the best time manager. Okay. What happens if you're planning, you're doing, but you're not interacting with anybody, you're not engaging anybody? How can you tag yourself as? You're an individual contributor, isn't it? You don't know how to really work with others or engage others. You plan well, you do it well. So you do your work well. That's all, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. You plan well, but you don't do anything and you don't interact with anyone. What do you call yourself? Come on, think. You plan well, you don't do anything, and then you also don't really interact with anyone. Come on, this is an easy one.
Advisor, but not follower.
It's called a daydreamer. And he just dreams during the day. He's planning all the time. He doesn't do anything, neither does he attract. Simple, right? You're daydreaming. Okay. So you plan well, you don't do anything, you just keep interacting with others. What do you call that kind of person?
A lazy person.
Lazy fellow, or you can say good intention but no work done. Right? He has good intentions, but he just goes around talking in the office. You'll see. Have you ever seen such people in the office? I have seen many times. Yeah. Okay. So you don't plan, you don't work, but you keep talking to everybody. What do you call that person?
Entertainer.
Time pass, entertainer fellow, isn't it? A lot of people are there like that, When it comes to customer solution discussion, they're not available. When it comes to, they're not very active in that. When it comes to innovatively plan something for the company, oh, that thought itself are so torturing for them. Oh, I can't do all that. When it comes to planning something for a project, that my manager will do. When it comes to doing something where you say, I'm too tired. But when it comes to gossip, kitna mil raha appraisal mein? What did we get? Who is leaving? Oh, he's also leaving. Huh? So many people are leaving. No, why should I leave? I think I should also leave. Oh, no, you leave. You tell me where you're going. I'll also come. These people are time pass fellows. Very, very dangerous people. You should stay away from them, because they'll ruin their lives and they'll pakka ruin your life also. Right? So you should be very, very what do you call that? Careful with such people, such category. That is the category that I'm talking about right here, right? So minus plus, no planning, no doing, but only interaction. Time pass people. Now, what about people who don't plan, who keep doing, but they don't interact? What do you call such people? They're just doing. Come on, give it a try.
Worker. Worker.
Sorry, I couldn't.
It's just a worker.
Just a
Not
worker.
only worker, hard worker.
Yeah, he's not a smart worker, because see, without planning, he's doing something means what? He doesn't know what. He doesn't know what he's doing, right? So people don't know what you're doing. They're like people on treadmill. They don't know where they're going. They're just running. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what they're doing. You go and stop them. You see such people in the office. I'm telling you, practically. You go and, hey boss, hey, don't disturb me. Huh? Please don't touch my car. I'm working. No, but what? No, don't disturb. I'm working. All the time, they're doing. But what they're doing, how is it contributing to the company? Are they doing in line with what project wants them to do? Right? Are they reinventing the wheel? Are they really doing something which is smart? Right? Right? Like people who start using calculator while using Excel. What do you call them? Right? There is Excel sheet in front of you. Take a calculator. 22 plus 23 is what? 45. Oh, so they're working all the time. Somebody goes, what are you doing? No, no, I'm calculating. Don't disturb. That is no, doesn't matter. I'm calculating. I'm good at my calculating. I know I'm good at it. Like that. So these people don't plan. These people just keep doing, and they don't even want to interact with others, right? So they are one special class of people. So we should be also careful with such kind of people, and don't think they don't exist. You should have your eyes open to watch them. There are many, right? And what about this category? No planning, no doing, no interaction. Minus, minus, minus. What do you call them? Gone cases, right? So neither competent nor delightful. And most of the time, these are the people who have a lot of complaints during appraisal time. I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting. Okay, obviously you're not getting anything because you know what you are. Okay, so you have to manage these three things, my dear friends. You have to manage these three things in order to be successful in life. You can't blame anybody. If you're managing these three things properly at your workplace, nobody can stop your growth. That is for sure. Nobody can stop your growth. It's up to you how you manage it. Right? Now let's now this I like this one. Just sharing it. So this is a toilet seat, right? So anybody can go to a toilet for how much time? Maximum 5 minutes. But if you go toilet with a mobile, maybe 15 minutes. You go with a toilet with the mobile connected to Wi-Fi, 55 minutes. A toilet with a mobile with Wi-Fi with electric plug. What is the symbol?
Infinity.
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 Right? So this horrible you can manage your time. Oh my God. So I'm very happy to know that some of you are laughing also, because I can only see triangles with no emotions. I don't know. Are you all existing, or you're all in the toilet seat with the electric plug?
No, sir, we're all here.
Thank you very much. Please unmute and laugh. Can you all unmute and laugh for a minute? For a change?
Sure, sir.
Come on. Let's laugh, guys. Don't make this like a session of, be totally in a depressed condition. We are forced to just written mandatory training, mandatorily have to sit here and suffer. It doesn't have to be like that. You all can learn something and share something also. Right? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for laughing and unmuting. Albert Einstein was indeed correct. Okay. So do you need time management? Do you need time management? Right? Now let's question that. Now let's try to do some self-assessment. Do we need time management? Right? I'm going to ask some questions. I want you all to take a white paper and a pen, if it's possible. Right? Just take a white paper and a pen. All you have to write is question number, because
Yes, sir, we are ready.
you can see the presentation later. You can see this presentation later, so you don't have to write the whole question. Make three columns. Make three columns. One is often, always. I'll tell you. No, okay. Anyway, I'll tell you that later. So in time management, there are three steps. I'll tell about the white paper thing. Give me a minute. I forgot the slide is still there. So 4 sincere steps are needed for you to better manage your time. Okay, 4 sincere steps. First is self-analysis, which is what we'll do on the white paper now. Second is analyze with others' opinion. So you have to go and ask others, what do they feel about your time management, right? And third, do a comparative analysis. What you feel about yourself and what others feel about you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You have to do your analysis, number one. Second, you have to ask others what they feel. Third, do a comparative analysis. And finally, take corrective action, right? You have to take corrective action. Like this picture I really liked, I found it in the internet, right? You're sleeping and you have social life, means you have bad grades or bad appraisals. Too much sleep, too much social life. Or sleep and good appraisal means no social life. And social life and good appraisal means no sleep. There's something wrong here. You're not managing either one of them rightly, right? Yeah. So let's now do a self-analysis. Yeah. So this is what I want you to do, right? Often, always, rarely. Right? Often, always, rarely. You understand the meaning of this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If I say something, do you often do it? Do you always do it? Or you rarely do it?
Okay.
So you can write down the question number and you can write your own assessment in the paper, right? Please, all of you take a minute to do it. Okay. Let's go with our first question. And now some of the ticks here I've just kept for the sake of example. How wisely do you think you manage your time? Put your tick. Often, rarely, always. You only think about it. Okay. I'll not spend too much time because there are several questions, but I want you to assess yourself. That's the whole idea. Okay. Somebody is managing multiple things. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you've written your answer? Okay, great. Let's go to the next one. Do you write daily to-do lists before you start your work? Do you have a to-do list? Today I want to finish this, or what is pending? Okay. I hope you've written your answer. I want you to write in your white paper. Okay. Are you all doing it? Okay, let's do it. It's a honest assessment. I'm not going to send the picture of the paper to me later. I don't really want to, right?
Is there any other column related to not at all?
What is it? Other column?
That
Not at all.
not at all.
No, you have to write in these 3 columns only. You can choose rare, no?
Yeah. Okay, you don't do it at all, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can add that column. I never thought we have so efficient people here. It's okay. So I just kept often, always, and rarely, right? That rarely is like as good as not at all. As good as, But if you want to add, you can add one more. That's fine. But this should give you an indication where you stand. Okay. Now, next question, right? Do you prioritize your to-do list based on your superiors or customer expectations? Meaning, you have a to-do list, but your boss has another to-do list. Do you reconcile your to-do list with his to-do list? Or do you really don't care? Whatever his to-do list is, I know what I have to do. So that's where you burn out, right? I'll tell you why. Because you'll end up finishing your day 8 hours doing your to-do list, and at 4:30 in the evening, your boss will come and tell, what about my to-do list? And then you'll sit there and work till 9 o'clock finishing his to-do list. If I'm a smart guy, I'll keep my to-do list aside. I'll first do my boss's to-do list. Make sense? Because obviously he knows what is more important task, right? Okay, so you've written your answer. Do you finish all items on your to-do list? How many times? Not in a single day. I'm not telling in a single day, but you make sure that you finish all your items in a to-do list. Do you track your to-do list? Right? Okay. You don't have to write these questions. The video is coming, so you can take a screen print anytime. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, next. I'm going to put a quote in each page also. What a wise person does at once, what a fool does at last. Both do the same thing, just the time is different. Right? This is told by John Dalberg Acton. His beautiful statement is saying, a wise person only does it once. But a fool does so many things, at last he'll do the same thing. Both are doing the same thing, but the time makes a big difference, right? Wise person does it at once. Yeah. Now, next question. Do you write down your personal and professional goals? Do you have a personal and professional goal? Right? It's very important. We should have a personal goal. We should have a professional goal. First of all, do we have personal goals? If you don't have personal goals, go jump in a well.
Writing down means literally writing down, or we keep on saying to our mind.
It's good to write down. Nothing wrong in that. You don't have to paste it on your workstation.
That's good.
It's yours. It's your personal. But do we have personal goals? I'm telling you something. These days, people don't have any personal goals. They just live like rats. Morning like a rat race, evening like a rat race. They don't know what they're doing in life. They think entertainment means watching a YouTube video. That's all they can think about. Nothing more than that, right? So we need to have personal goals. whether it is personal fitness goals or personal contributory goals, to the society, service goals to society, something better than just working, right? So, do you have some, and have you written them down? Sometimes when you write them down, your thought process becomes clear, right? Yeah. So that's next. Next question. Do you update your personal and professional goals? Or have you written it in 1960s and they're still sitting there? Right? Or sir, when I was a child, in my 8th grade, I wrote it. And that's all I wrote, never rewrote it. No, that's not the way. You have to revisit it. Sometimes you have to revisit it. Not to change, but to be reminded. You have to revisit it and you have to see that. Are all of you feeling this, or are you able to follow it?
Yes, sir.
If you, and now you'll know as a person what you are and why your time is such a big mess, right? If you write these things, but you should be honest in writing that rarely, often, or always. Is your desk or locker clean or organized? Just look around. How is your desk? In simple words, more than your desktop. When I see some people's desktop, they keep searching for their mouse. They don't know where their mouse is. It is so horrible, the desktop. Filled with 20 files and 16 folders. Right? Where to find what is where, they don't know. Have you seen any such desktops anywhere? Yeah? Yeah. And some people, what they do? They fill their desktop with so many things. Once in 2 weeks, they'll create one folder and throw everything into that. And they'll say, I'm clean. That is also not being organized. That is just fooling yourself, right? Desktop means you are organized in keeping what you do, where you do, what you keep. Everything has to be, so you can find them easily, right? Naming your files, file name should be nice. Yeah. Next, do you find your stuff when you need them? Do you put them in a place where you brought it from? Right? Or you keep searching the house. Where is the damn stapler? I kept it yesterday here. Where is that punch? Where is that car keys? Where is my, I don't know, worst part is you get up in the morning, where is my toothbrush? Right? Just think about it. People are like that. So this also shows how you are managing your time. Now, quick proverb. Martin Luther King. If you have nothing to die for, you have nothing to live for. I already told this, right? It's a good statement. Huh? I really like this. Yeah. Next question. Do you deal effectively with interruptions? You get interrupted, right? Reaction can be, you get irritated, you get wild, you snap off, you start behaving insensitively, or you just say no, right? Whenever there is an interruption at whatever you do, any one of the reactions, you might be doing one of these reactions, but whatever the reaction is, how often you do it, how rarely we do it, and always do you do it, right? It's a little dicey. You can have multiple answers also to this one. Okay. Can you find the information you're looking for? How much time you're searching all the time? Can you find the information you're looking for? Do you maintain a folder structure in your computer, in your laptop? Do you maintain a folder structure? And the folder structure is it understandable only to you, or any other person can also understand it? Right? So that also shows how nicely you're keeping information. Are you assertive, passive, or aggressive? It can be one of these. Prominent quality. What is a prominent quality? Assertive means ask for your legitimate rights, being sensitive to others' rights as well. Assertive. Right? Meaning you know what you want and you also respect what others want. Passive. All the time complain. Why it happens to me? Mere saath kyun hua? Why with me? Are you that kind of person? Or you're aggressive, saying, get your thing done, moving everything under the planet. Whatever I want, I want it to happen. So whatever your nature is, or if 3 of them are there, you have 3 of the natures. If you're assertive, then how often or always or rarely you are. If you're passive, how often or always or rarely you are. And if you're aggressive, how often or always or rarely you are. Okay, let me tell you, I'm very aggressive. When I have to get things done, I move everybody on the planet. The people who work with me, they know. Shiva, Ramesh, and others in the finance. If I have to get it done, khatam. They'll feel, oh, this fellow is going to take our night now. They have to get it done. That's it, right? So something that I'm working on myself, something that I have to improve myself, that I should not be so pushy when it has to be closed, right? But I do. Am I assertive? Yes, but not as much as I'm aggressive. So it has to be honest. It has to be an honest assessment about yourself, is what I'm trying to tell, right? So he's a very nice person. I know. You can go to YouTube and browse Radhe Shyam Prabhu. He's a very, very famous youth speaker. He says there are few who are wise, others are otherwise. They don't really care for others, right? But there are only few who really care for others. Let's go to the next question. Do you deal effectively with long-winded callers? Meaning they don't know why they have called. How effectively do you deal with them? Or you just sit with them and waste all your time, 1 hour spent with somebody who doesn't know why he has called you. Or people who like to keep talking, chatterboxes. They call you. And how long do you entertain them? Do you deal effectively with them? Do you often fall for them? Do you always fall for them, or you rarely entertain them? Right? Okay. Do you have your own time or private place to relax or do your own activity? Music, spirituality, meditation. Do you even do that? You have not started in life? I don't know. Write it down. Always, often, rarely. Right? Honest on this, huh? If you cheat yourself here, nobody can help you. Do you spend most time preventing problems? How is your life? All the time preventing problems? You get up in the morning and someone says, I put my finger in a fan. Someone says, somebody bumped your car from behind. Or somebody says your insurance policy expired, you're running around. How is your day? Are you all the time fixing problems? Or you are, how is your time? How are you spending your day? Right? Preventing problems. Do you spend most time solving problems? So there is preventing problems. Second is solving problems. Are you all the time solving problems? Or you're doing your regular work also, right? So I'm not, see, if it's your production support guy, you obviously get problems. You're solving. I'm not talking that kind of problems, right? Our work in IT is about solving problems. I'm not talking about customer solving problems. I'm talking about problems which are beyond your normal schedule, right? Like some big mess up happened. You did not renew your health policy, or you did not renew your vehicle insurance, or you have too many electronic issues happening with your gadgets in your house, right? Or you have too many property issues coming up, right? Whatever, is your life filled with problems? Problematic life is what I'm asking, right? That you have to honestly answer, because then you will know why your time is the way it is. Do you meet deadlines with time to spare? Now be honest on this. Am I just meeting them, or I have some time to spare? Meaning, am I ahead of the goal, right? Did I finish it with time, some time to spare? Did I finish it or not? You should answer. Never debate with idiots. Chanakya told. Never debate with idiots, because by doing so, you'll waste your time. I don't know how many times you fall into a debate with idiots. I used to do that a lot, right? And later on, I realized that I'm an idiot, because I am unnecessarily spending time with idiots, right? So idiot meaning what? Idiot is a very nice word, where it means that you don't want to listen. People who don't want to listen are idiots. So you should never spend time with them. You should just move on, right? So that's also part of time management. Next. Are you on time to work or event? Are you on time? Now I can tell you that 28 of you are not, because you all came late today. I already know a number here, right? Among the 50 plus, 28 of you came after 5 minutes of the meeting started, right? And 4 of you, or actually 6 of you, I think, were there even before the meeting started. So which is a good thing, right? Now I'm telling you, this makes a difference, may not be for this meeting, But if a habit is not fixed, you will mess up on the most important day of your life also, right? See, sometimes people say it's okay to use bad words, right? It's okay to use bad words, like whatever A, B, C, D, whatever prefix bad word that you know on the planet, right? You feel it's very fashionable. Oh, I use that F word all the time. I use that D word all the time. Use that C word all the time. Whatever, you can keep going. It might even sound cool. But if you don't fix that problem, and if you don't see any problem in it, one day you'll use that bad word on a person who loves you the most, and you'll ruin the relationship. You know what I'm saying? You will, because it's a habit that you can't break, right? That's the reason anything bad in life, it's better to fix it before it becomes a habit. But you can't control it. You can't control it, right? So we should know. We should know what is unnecessarily, what is unnecessary in your life. So are you on time? So if you're not on time here, on some day, on the most important meeting, you'll be late, and you'll create a first impression there, and that's enough to make a big loss in your life. Big loss in your life, right? Do you delegate your work effectively? Meaning, when you tell somebody to do something, do you explain it properly, or you just say it? How often people to whom you have delegated keep coming back to you asking, can you tell me again what exactly you wanted me to do? How often do you feel that? This affects your time. This really, really affects your time. Right? You should be very good in delegating. You should be very good in sharing. Because then you don't have to do repeated work again and again. That's why I put this question here. Next. Do your peers, friends, juniors work with you cooperatively? How do they find you? As soon as you go and talk to them, are they irritated? No, has to be a real honest answer from you, because everybody feels that I'm the best. But ask yourself, when you go and ask somebody any help, or you want to discuss something, how much inviting are they to spend time with you? Right? When you're interrupted, can you come back to the same, to work at the same momentum? The same momentum, can you come back? Meaning, you're doing something, suddenly got interrupted, again immediately you come back to the same momentum. But you take a lot of time to recover from that interruption. Right? That's also important. So William Penn is saying, time is what we want most, but what we waste most. Yes, we want most and we waste most. Okay, few more questions, we are done. Okay, do you check if you have done something every day? Do you check if you have done something every day that takes you one step closer to your goal? You check that. For example, at the end of the day, you check, am I reaching there? Am I achieving what I wanted to achieve? Or your day has just gone doing what you don't know whether it's important or not. Right? That's very important. Can you really relax when you have free time? Now, this is a very important question. Do you really relax? You have free time now. Can you relax, or you're hyper? You're not able to relax also. You have to immediately pull that stupid screen and start seeing, because it's not really relaxing in a way, isn't it? Yeah. Do people know the best time to reach you? How many people around you know what is the best time to reach you? Now, please be honest in answering this. Have you told people that you are not available during certain time? Have you told? Your manager, your colleagues, your customer. Of course, during work hours, you shouldn't do that. But even sometimes during work hours, even sometimes after work hours, have you defined what is the time you should not be reached? Right? That's very important. Can others carry on with most important responsibilities in your absence? If you don't come to office for some time, can others carry on with the same work or work around you? Right? Please, be honest in writing this also. This shows how you're managing your time. Yeah. When you serve others, time expands. When you exploit others, time squeezes. Right? So it's the time is like, as I said, it's the energy of God. And the way you treat people, the time also treats you the same way. You will know it. Do you begin and finish on time? You begin and finish on time? Did you begin on time? Obviously, you'll finish on time. If you begin late, you'll finish late. Do you do the most important work at the peak of energy hours? Meaning, morning time, you're supposed to do this. Daytime, you're supposed to do this. Night time, you're supposed to do this. Are you doing those at the right time? Or are you sleeping in the daytime, working in the night time, exercising in the night time, right? I don't know what. You have to be honest. You have to be honest in assessing yourself. Do you spend your time for planning before starting any new task? How much time do you really spend for planning? Am I really giving importance to planning? Right? Am I putting that effort? Good times are preparations for bad times. Srila Prabhupada, great saint, is mentioning. Good times are preparation for bad times. So you plan in advance, even for a bad time. Finally, last two questions. Do you always have a plan B for every plan A? How much do you have a plan B? Right? Or you're just depending on one plan, or you're only reacting. When plan A fails, then you start thinking about plan B. Or when you made the plan A itself, you also have a plan B. That shows, how you manage your time. Do you give enough notice to people for any task? When you approach somebody, do you give them enough notice that, hey, I need this help, you have this much time? Or do you say, I need it now? How often? How often? If it's always, then you're in big trouble. Nobody will want to work with you. Everyone relevant to you clearly knows what your focus is and what you are not interested. Do people know about you? How much people know about you? Ask yourself clearly. Do really people know you and what you're interested or disinterested in, right? Your role models are great in time management. Who are your role models? Don't tell me a role model is Virat Kohli or somebody in the television. Do you have a role model on the floor also? Do you have a role model in your office? Do you have a role model in your home? It's very important to have a living role model. You don't want illusionary role models. If somebody says my role model is Deepika, what is that? What is her name? Deepika Pagone. I forgot, some actress. Or somebody says my role model is some actor. I don't know, P.S. Bosman. Or my role model is Mahatma Gandhi. Or my role model. It's okay. You can have some role models like that. But on the floor, in your vicinity, accessible, you need to have a role model. That really makes a big difference. Meaning, you start seeing and implementing. Right? So, how good is your role model in his time management? That is very important. These questions and your sincere answers should hint you with your time management situation. Right? Don't complain tomorrow. When you complain, see your answers. You will know why you are struggling. As simple as that. Right? So, how to manage time? No, very simple. I already told you, but this is a very good analysis that is given by experts where to manage your time and where to invest your time, right? There are always 4 quadrants. How many are aware of this 4 quadrant thing? Important, urgent, not important, not urgent, right? There are 4 quadrants. And what are the tasks which fall into each one of these categories, right? For example, quadrant 1 is all about action because it's important and urgent. You have to immediately act. Quadrant 2 is about important and not urgent, which is where you can do quality things, right? You can invest more time on quality because it's not urgent, right? You can slowly, qualitatively invest time on these ones. Urgent, but it is not important. it's kind of a little deception. You don't know. It's really urgent or it's really not. You don't know, right? Kind of a deceptive quadrant. And definitely not important, not urgent is completely waste quadrant. So there are activities which fall into all the four. For example, crisis, deadlines, pressing problems, breakdown maintenance, heart attack, urgent time meetings, they all fall into important and urgent. They all are urgent. You can't say no. You have to go and do it. And planning, right? Planning or self-realization, like spirituality and development, self-development, backup planning, creative and intellectual activities, relationship building, recognizing new opportunities, and spiritual questioning, right? Where you self-assess yourself. These all fall into quality quadrant. For this, you need time. You can't do them urgently. You can't just do them urgently. Or today I'll start meditate and tomorrow I'll achieve nirvana. That's nonsense, right? That's not going to work. You have to give quality time for this. And urgent and not important. Interruptions, telephone calls. You don't know whether they're important or not. You keep receiving them. Pressing matters, popular activities. Somebody is popularly doing it. We don't know whether it's urgent or not, right? But they're not important. That you know. And of course, not urgent and not important activities includes trivial matters which never get solved. Some unimportant email, some nonsense email is floating, and you want to start reading the whole trail. What he is reacting, what they are reacting, what she is reacting. It's like, nowhere related to you. General browsing, very dangerous. Because you don't browse generally. They will plan what you have to browse. That's what YouTube does. That's what data science does, right? They exactly know where they want to take you. So dangerous. Time wasters, useless phone calls. Useless phone calls. I'm not saying every call has to be purposeful, but you should know which one is a useless call also. Right? You should be smart enough. Okay. Now, which quadrant are you spending really most of your time? Be honest to yourself. All the time, I'm in which quadrant? Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4? Where am I? My recommendation is you should spend more time in quadrant 2. Right? When you spend more time in quadrant 2, automatically Q1, Q3, and Q4 will be fixed. Automatically, because when you're planning nicely, you will not get into too much of Q1. When you're having a quality-based life, you will not get into Q4 also, right? And when you are having a good backup planning, you have proper planning, everything, you will not get Q3 also. So place your priorities in right order. It's very important in life, right? You always have everything to do. You always have everything to do, but you should know which one to do first. Are you following me, everybody? Which one to do first? Now, let me give an example. Now, you have big rocks, small rocks, sand, and water. These 4 things are there. Big rocks, small rocks, sand, and water. And you have to put them in a bottle. Which one will you put first?
The bigger ones. The bigger ones first.
Big rocks.
Big rocks.
Big rocks.
Big rocks?
Yes.
Okay. Then?
Small rocks.
Then the small rocks.
Then
Then the
Sand.
then the water.
Then the
water.
water, right? That's correct. Big rocks, small rocks, sand, and water. Perfect. But if you do the other way around, place the priorities in wrong order. I do water first, then sand, then small rocks, then big rocks. Water, sand, then small rocks, then big rocks. What happens? You can't fit some big rocks inside. Right? The same jar that could have taken it. My dear friends, quadrant 2 is your big rocks. Right? Effective time management lies in identifying your big rocks. This quadrant 2 is your big rocks. You should put this first in your life. Put this first, no matter what. Okay, I will not get a promotion this year. That's okay. That's okay. I'll not get a promotion this year, but I want to fix my life. I don't want to live a life like a rat or a cat running around. I want to fix my life, right? So you have to identify your big rocks and put them first. Big rocks are the quadrant 2 of quality. Fixing quadrant 2 will fix all the remaining quadrants. Everything will get fixed, provided you fix this first, right? Do meaningful activities and reject unnecessary activities. Just reject them. Even if 10 people are doing it, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it just because 10 people are doing it, right? Okay. So preparing a weekly schedule, you need to have a schedule. Time box yourself. One thing that I have learned in the West, I worked in West for quite some time, is people time box. Their calendar is booked. We don't use calendars. We don't have this habit of using calendars. What calendar does is when you put that calendar, people will give you quality time, right? I should have my calendar for prayers and meditation. I should have my calendar for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. I should have my calendar for work. I should have my calendar for exercise. I should have my calendar for personal time, meditation, music, reading, public relationships needed. Some things can go in parallel, some things have to be exclusively done. Family time, it has to be there. And time with the mentor, At least once in a day, you should spend some time with your mentor. Whoever that mentor, on a phone, on a personal way, just a hello, check it out, right? But most important thing is, do you see these gaps here? You see these gaps where I've not put anything? You should also have these gaps. This is called cushion time, right? If you don't have this, you are more like a machine. What makes you human is these gaps, right? These gaps are very, very important. So try to list down the most important tasks, work-life balance, achieve 80% of the plan. I'm not saying you should achieve 100% of the plan. 80% of the plan you achieve, you'll be happy. Set expectation with others. When we value our time, others will also value our time. If they see you just going around not doing anything, people will feel that you're always available. Isn't it? When you're busy, people will value your time. Blank free hour spots are shock observers, like I told, cushion time. Shock observers, and they should exist. And who should know that they exist? Who should know that they exist? The cushion hours.
Only me.
Only you. By mistake, also don't tell people, mere paas bahut time hai. You're screwed if you do that. Because the last person you want to tell that is your boss. Isn't it? If you tell, finish, he'll make sure that he'll assign one more responsibility. Right? Shiva is already laughing. That if I get to know that he has time, I'm going to push more. But that's not the point. What I'm trying to tell you is you should have your cushion hours. Now, let me tell you, all this you will not achieve. All this you will not achieve in a day one. Right? For all this to achieve, you have to first achieve your 30 answers to 30 questions that I told you. When you achieve the 30 answers, your day schedule will automatically come into play. Right? There should be inner fulfillment for each day. One cannot declare how flexible he is unless he knows what is the next task. Right? Prerequisite for flexibility is discipline. Without discipline, we can't achieve anything. Yeah. So Mahatma Gandhi also mentioned something about time management. He said, a man who works regularly in a systematic fashion never feels overworked or tired. He knows his limits and is able to do it in fair time. All that he undertakes, it is not hard work that kills a man, but irregularity or lack of system that kills a man. People have problem with stress, not because there's too much work, they don't know how to manage that work. That is why people are stressful. Right? You should learn that. So goal-driven time. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, get smart to manage your time. What does it mean? What does it mean to be smart? Smart means it also has a definition. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Your goal should be smart. Smart goals. It's a very famous saying. I'm not created it. It's there. Smart people means they have specific goals, they have measurable goals, they are attainable goals, they are realistic goals, and they are time-bound goals. All those things together right? So in Bhagavad Gita, there is a beautiful shloka. You can learn this actually. It's 2.41. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekaha kurunandana bahushak anantascha abuddhayo avyavasayanam. Right? What does it mean? Those who are on the path, those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. Oh, beloved son of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Meaning what? You should be focused in life. You should be like very, very focused in life. What you want to achieve, what you really want to achieve. Like Arjuna's arrow. Arjuna's arrow was focused on one point, one single point. It's not like, oh, if I don't hit this, I'll hit that. If I don't hit this, maybe I'll hit this. No, you should be like single pointed focus. This is what you want to do. Like that javelin thrower. What is his name? Vikram Batra? No. Who got an Olympic for us this year? Come on, I've gone blank. Huh?
Neeraj Chopra.
Neeraj Chopra.
Yeah.
He told in his interview, very nicely told. He said, my throw has to be the best throw. That is all I care. I don't care what others are throwing. I really don't want to know. But when I throw, it has to be my best javelin throw. And that's what he did. Every time he came to throw, he throwed the first throw itself is qualifier. The first throw itself made him qualify for the next round. And then he's just relaxing. I'm done. Right? And then let people struggle to break that. Or let people struggle to do what they. So that's called focused. Vyavasayatmika buddhir. Ekaha kurunandana. Ekaha, meaning one. One pointed focus. Bahushaka. Shaka means branches. Right? Bahushaka anantascha. Abuddhir avyavasayana. Buddhir avyavasayana. Meaning they will not achieve anything. If you have too many branches, if your thoughts and focus in too many branches, you will not achieve anything. You cannot achieve anything. Of course, small focus can be in different places, but your main focus should be very, very clear. That I want to achieve this in life. And this is very important for me. If you keep that there, you will achieve it for sure. But you can't be everywhere. You know, some people are, I'm here, I'm there, I'm here. You will ultimately not be happy anywhere. Right? Even relationships, right? If you're in a relationship with 10 people, will you be happy? No. One person perfectly serving that person, taking care of that person, understanding that person's needs, you'll be happy. Right? As simple as that. So even life and goals are like that, right? Yeah. So that is the one of the most important thing for SMART goals, right? Which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound. So goal management is time management. So if somebody says, what is time management? It's goal management. If you don't manage your goals, you can't manage your time, right? Corporates are looking for goal-oriented people. If I have to interview somebody, I'll ask what your goals are. If he doesn't have a goal, then what can he help me in my goal? Flexible working study doesn't mean getting disorganized. Unfortunately, with working from home, that is what is happening. Right? Sometimes we are more efficient when we come to the office. Because we come at a time, we finish our work, we go home. But when we are at home, we are working all the time or not working anytime. Both can happen. Right? Either you're working all the time or you're not working anytime. Yeah. IT stress levels are high because of lack of discipline in working hours. No combined ownership of goals. Right? We don't own your boss's goal is different, your goal is different, your superior goal is different, the organization goal is different. What will you achieve? Nothing. Multitasking does not work without a plan. Please, don't think that I'm a multitasker, I can do anything. If you don't have a plan, you will fall flat on the ground. Inefficiency is equal to performing too many ad hoc tasks. Too many ad hoc tasks. You don't know what you're going to do during the day. That means it's inefficiency. See, sometimes when people come to you with requests, I'm telling you this, it's very useful in life. With my own experience, I'm telling you. Like even my boss, he comes and says, Lakshman, I need this. I said, okay, I'll do it. By when you need it? I need it immediately. Okay. So immediately, what part of this you need immediately? Everything or some part of it is very, very important. So, oh, at least do this. Now I know. I break the task. I said, this is important. Remaining, I'll park it. And I'll make sure that he gets it on time. But I'll break it up and make my life simple. You know what I'm saying? You should know how to decouple, prioritize, and execute. Decouple, prioritize, and execute. Otherwise, you will be executed. There is no hope. You'll be like gone case. You'll be doing everything all the time. All the time you're in a rush, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we're almost there finishing it. Sometimes the best road is the one you make. I like this poster, right? People give you so many roads to walk, but sometimes you have to make your own road. You have to decide what is right for you. You might have attended this seminar, but still you are the one who has to fix your life, because everybody's life has their own set of problems, which you know better, right? So how people waste their time? 22 years you're sleeping, 25 years you're 2.5 years you're brushing, 5.5 years you're just eating, 5.5 years you're just commuting, 16 years you are talking, 2.5 years you're miscellaneous, 11 years you're thinking what to do. You're already 65 years, right? So this is how bad our life can become. But lead a meaningful life, right? Lead a meaningful life. It has to be purposeful and meaningful. Goal of life is not to just sleep, learn, earn, spend, consume. That's what most of us do. We learn new technology, we earn out of the technology, we spend what we earn, then we consume what we got, then we sleep again. Is it all about this? Or there's something called self-realization? There's something called understanding who you are. Understanding who you are. Where did you come from? What is going on around you? Okay, I don't believe in God, but who am I? Who am I? At least that much. Who am I? Where did I come from? Am I conscious? Right? Am I serving anybody? Or am I just eating and sleeping? What difference am I making to this planet? What difference am I making to this planet? Right? You should think about it. Are you leaving behind a legacy of love and compassion for everybody? What are you leaving behind? Right? Very, very important. This makes it meaningful life. And this is what actually comes when you get into spiritual life. Very, very important. When you go back to spirituality, you get all these things. It's like a package. But you have to put that somewhere in your life, irrespective of which religion you come from, irrespective of which what background you come from. This is beyond it. Self-realization is beyond it. Okay? You have to spend some time in that so that your life becomes very blissful. Yeah. Symptoms of a person, who is not organized, obviously. Subtle symptoms, gross symptoms. One second. Just one second. Yeah. If you're managing your time properly, you have a certain symptoms you can see in people, right? Their clothes are clean, their shoes are polished, their body looks healthy, right? Nails are cut. Subtle symptoms, they're calm and composed, right? Every day is fulfilling. Yes. They don't need a vacation. They'll not come and ask, I want a vacation. Because every day is a vacation for them. They don't really care. Team leader, they respects everyone's time. Everyone respects his time, right? So don't say you don't have enough time. You have exactly the same amount of time and hours in a day that were given to Helen Keller, Pasteur, and like Leonardo da Vinci and Albert Einstein. Everybody had the same number of hours. You also have the same number of hours, right? Summary. So we discussed all these things. What is time management? Essentials of time management. Do you need time management? How to manage time? Get smart in your time management. We discussed about it, right? So we achieved what we were supposed to achieve. Yeah, sincere steps. Do your analysis, self-analysis. I think we partly did it. Keep doing it. Analysis with others' opinion. You can do this later. Do a comparative. Start your corrective action. Schedule your work. If you don't have a schedule, then people will ridicule, right? You better have a schedule. Prioritization of tasks, which is the one that you want to keep first, the big rocks, right? So put your big rocks in your life first, which is your quality 2 quadrant. And decide you're a daydreamer or a performer in your office. Are you doing good amount of planning, good amount of doing, and good amount of interaction, right? Okay, so I think I'm done with what I wanted to tell. Yeah. So, any questions? Any questions? Reflections. Let me ask reflections. Okay. For the sake of everybody, please enable your videos for 5 minutes. We'll just have a quick reflection session and then we'll wrap up. Just 5 minutes. Just your friends are there on the call. I don't think you're going to see any strangers. Oh my God. You can see how impersonal people are becoming. I'm not judging anybody on the call, not everybody, but this impersonal thing is really, really, really detrimental, right? Yes. Yes, Mohammed. How did you like the session? Meaningful, useful?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's meaningful.
Thank you. Any reflections? Anybody? Come on, enable your cameras, guys. Come on, I at least need to know you exist. I wish I had a button to just enable everything. Can somebody help me with the software which can just enable, yeah, like a hacking software which goes and just enables all the cameras? That software can, do a lot of damage, right? My God,
Better you make all of us come to office and you also come. Automatically it will be enabled.
That's the biggest challenge now, to bring people
Yes.
to office.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because see, now you know too many things, right? You know how to wash vessels, you know how to do clothes. How do you think you'll be allowed to come to office? Isn't it? We have learned too many things now. So we are most needed at home. Corona is the greatest coach. Yes. Okay. So thank you very much for your time. Please manage your time and try to come a little early to the meeting as far as possible. I know customer calls are important, but tell your customer that this also helps, right? Ultimately, your customers will benefit when you do things. Yeah. Hey Naveen, how are you? Is it Naveen?
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah.
Lakshman, how are you?
Yeah, that is Naveen. Sorry. Doing good, Naveen. Yeah. I think after some time, if you come, I think after some time, if I see you like this, I'll not recognize you. I'll say, can you put on your mask?
That's why.
Yeah. Now I know who is there. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Let's move on. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and let's see next week. I don't know what topic Swati is scheduled, but let's see what comes up. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Lakshman sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.